prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's up, guys? Dane Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley Dauber and the Indy Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. VAWLS fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and we are just 9 short days away from Tennessee kicking it off against Bowling Green inside of Neyland Stadium. Offensive coordinator Alex Golesh met with the media today after practice. He talked a little bit about the quarterback competition and going into fall camp with a clean slate. He also lit up the room when he was asked about the running back position. He gets a little long-winded at times with his answers, so we're going to jump right into this thing. But as always, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network and you enjoy what we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live. Throughout the season, we do live shows every single Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then also on Saturdays immediately following the games. But let's jump in to the comments made by offensive coordinator Alex Golesh.
Jerry Mack brought some awesome ideas. Cody brought some awesome ideas. Cody is kind of like my go-to on, man, how does the SEC do this? How do defenses attack certain things? And then obviously Hype has been in this league. Glenn has been in this league. So it's been, I don't want to say a grab bag, but it's been a conglomerate of ideas through the summer, put a bunch in fall camp, and now we're kind of grab bagging as we're going, as we get pictures we're presented. This week, a unique challenge with the new defensive coordinator.
So last year, we've got rumors of coaches fighting in the locker room. We've got a position coach getting fired 4 games into the season. Never any chemistry across the board. This year, it's all about that team chemistry. It's all about bonding and relationships. And Alex Golesh right there sounds like a man that has absolutely no ego. That's your offensive coordinator, the man responsible. I know it's Josh Heupel's offense, but Alex Golesh is your offensive coordinator, and he is openly admitting that he goes to his wide receiver coach in Cody Burns to ask questions, to learn how things are done in the SEC. Now, we'll see how things go when adversity hits, when the bullets start flying. And Coach Golesh kind of touches on that a little bit later in the interview in regards to his players. But the same thing goes for the coaches as well. You can have a great relationship. You can show no ego and go to your wide receiver coach. But what happens when adversity hits? Because this is the SEC and it's going to happen. But I like that this coaching staff, there's some continuity there, that they've worked together before. But we heard all spring camp, all fall camp, that the relationships amongst this coaching staff, they seem like they work well together. But again, it's easy during spring practice and fall camp. We'll see how things go throughout the season. Of course, you know the offensive coordinator is not going to meet with the media and get away from that quarterback competition question. Nobody asked him to give a specific name, but they really tried to push him, kind of get a little idea of how things went, if they went the way he expected in regards to that quarterback competition. And then he was also asked specifically about Joe Milton.
He's really done a good job, really a great job of fitting in, adjusting, learning, growing. He spent a bunch of time in May and June, July, learning the system. He's a football smart young man. He's played in games that matter. So for him, it's just been a terminology, a progression, a read. The way we coach quarterbacks is unique. I think Joey's done an incredible job with him, doing the very best he can to prepare him. Really all of those quarterbacks, all 3 of those guys, put him in tough situations, tried to create tough situations in practice and in scrimmages. But I think Joe has caught on really, really well. He's progressed. He's gotten better. He's had bad days. We all have, but he's had bad days. I think my biggest point of emphasis offensively for us in general, quarterback position specifically, how do you respond to the bad day? And I think in general, that's been the message. The quarterback position, every position, right? A bunch of young guys, a bunch of guys that hadn't played a whole lot, trying to instill confidence while bringing adverse situations into play. you can say adversity is going to come, adversity is going to come, adversity is going to come. You just hope it doesn't come for the first time September 2nd at Neyland. So you're trying to create those situations. And to me, not coaching the quarterbacks, I want to see how they respond. And I think Coach Heupel's in the same breath, and I think us as an offense in the same breath at that position. Adversity's coming. How do you respond and continuing to instill confidence through those adverse situations has been the focus at that spot.
How do you instill confidence when adversity comes into play? That's a great question. And we talked about a lot last season. You know, the quarterbacks were scared to go out there and play because there wasn't that confidence, the ability to bounce back from a negative play. You never knew when you were going to be jerked off the field for doing one little thing incorrectly. They were never allowed to have that confidence when adversity hit. And, you know, I think at this point, I think this coaching staff knows exactly who their guy is at quarterback. And Eric Ainge on his show provided some really good commentary about this exact point, talking about his own personal experiences going through a quarterback competition versus the year that David Cutcliffe came up to him from the beginning and said, hey, you're the guy. You are quarterback number one. You're the starter. There's no question about it. And he talked about how at that point, once he knew he's the guy, he's the starter, he could focus on the game plan. He could focus on the playbook, on building relationships with the guys that are around him on the field. When you're in the midst of that quarterback competition, it's all consuming. That is what your focus is winning the job. I think they have their guy. I think the team knows who that guy is, truly believe that. But he also said that he had a lot of confidence in all three quarterbacks and talked about all three of them having experience as starters. And that's a good problem to have. I know in today's game, you're constantly worried about the transfer portal, especially at the quarterback position. But as far as 2021, it's a good problem to have to be able to roll with three different quarterbacks that all have experience as starters. You know, it's a long season. Just if Joe Milton goes down, next man up. And if in fact Joe Milton, they've got to show him that they have that confidence in him. If he makes a mistake, if he throws an interception, you've got to be able to learn from it, get better, get back out there on the field. In the words of Butch Jones, snap and clear, but that is a good mentality to have. Now, I'm not saying you just roll with Joe Milton regardless. If you continue to see him make the same mistakes over and over and over again, there's a time and place to bench a quarterback, but you have to let them build confidence, like Coach Golesh just said, instill confidence when adversity hits. He also talked a lot about his young tight ends, had a lot of praise for Julian Nixon. We've heard a lot of good stuff coming out of fall camp about him, but he also talked about not starting a freshman at tight end. Tight end is a position I'm excited about. I feel like it's been underutilized at Tennessee for so long, but the fact that your offensive coordinator works directly with, he is the position coach for the tight ends, I think we're going to see a lot of improvement there. You know, the depth this season concerns me with, Pope having to unfortunately leave the game. Plus, you got some young guys there. Trinity Bell still coming back from the knee. His father was in the live chat last night for the live show, said he's starting to run some routes. So that's a guy, again, another young guy that I think the future is bright for that position, especially working with Coach Golesh. But as far as this season, the depth does concern me a little bit. Just excited overall about the Josh Heupel era and getting the tight ends involved, actually using them as a weapon on offense. He was also asked about the running back room, and you can really see it on his face, especially when the name Jalen Wright comes up. But there is just so much potential in that backfield.
That's one position that I'm uber excited about going into game day. I think Jabari's had the camp we all hoped he would. Tyon, honestly, in a lot of ways has surpassed my expectations. He's started to figure out what it is to be a Division I college football player. He was here in the spring. I think I've recruited junior college my whole career. You come in from a junior college and it just hits you in the face. And it took him a while to figure it out. It really did. From how do I take care of my body? How do I sleep? When do I go to tutoring? All of that. Just how do I figure that out? It took him a minute. It was resistant a little bit at times to figuring it out. There was some nudging there. But I think Tyon has put it all together. Having only football for 3 weeks for Tyon was really, really good. And so I'm excited to see what he can do. He's a different back than those other guys in the room. He's a bigger back. Been really pleasantly surprised with him. Jalen Wright, man, oh man, really, really excited about Jalen. He is everything we had hoped he would be. He's still a freshman. Same sentiment as Miles Campbell. Now we just threw class on him. We threw the distractions around campus at him. He's got to learn and grow, but I think he's got a really, really bright future.
I think we're going to see a whole lot of that running back room home opener against Bowling Green. I think they're going to run the football and run the football and run the football some more. So he talked about them being a running back, group that they're going to go by committee, going to get a lot of guys in there, get a lot of guys some touches. This offense is going to be fun to watch. I'm excited. There's weapons at running back. There's weapons at wide receiver. That wide receiver unit is a little banged up right now, but I don't think there's anything serious. But when you look at the national media, it's just all unproven. And I guess that's a fair and accurate statement. It is unproven, but the horses are there. The horses are there. If they get it done up front, get the consistency at quarterback. They have to have consistency at quarterback. I think this offense is going to be fun to watch. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of Coach Golesh and his thoughts. I love every time. So many of these coaches, when they get in front of the camera, in front of the microphone, just well-spoken. I like what they bring to the table. I just hope they get it done on game day. What's your way too early prediction for the Bowling Green game? I think I said 45-10 is what I'm looking at right now. Maybe I'll change my mind, but that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. But this is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
How like me, poets sat in arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we